particular verse comes in Akasa Sutta. It comes in Samyukta Nikaya, saying that in the sky there are winds flowing in different directions, and there will be warm winds, cold winds, winds with dust, winds without dust, powerful winds, and very weak winds. Like that, within our body also there will be number of Vedanas arising. Vedana is what? Sensation. Yes, sensation. Yesterday there was a question by Sarad Mahatya why Vedana is not in a plural form, sensations. Then I was also a bit, because I didn't pay attention to that, honestly. Then I quickly went through all the dictionaries and went through Bhikkha Bodhi, Bhantes, and Vedana doesn't translate into sensations. So it's Vedana is sensation. Why do you think sensation is important in our lives? Why do you want to stay in this world? Huh?
We already live in sensation.
Yeah, no, why? Now sensation, what's keeping us going in this world? Why do we like this place? Sukha Vedana. And why don't we like this place? Dukkha Vedana. So what do you want? Whether you want to stay or whether you want to leave? Why you want to leave at the end of the day? But they are Sukha Vedana. No? Oh, is it? Okay. So Dukkha Vedana stays for a long time. It's changing all the time. Okay, how does Sukha Vedana change? And then what does Dukkha Vedana change into? No, Dukkha Vedana, if Dukkha Vedana change into Sukha Vedana, that's, you tell me, I would love to, yeah. Yeah, now, no, Dukkha Vedana will not change to Adukkama Sukha Vedana. We will study that little later. First of all, we will try to understand why this Vedana is very important. Because you cannot find the concept of Vedana in any other religion. Even in Hindu religion, this Vedana is absent. Before Buddha's time, everybody thought that suffering came to be through material things. There's this nice sutta, I always quote the last sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, what's that sutta? Indriya Bhavana Sutta. Panchanga, was it Panchanga? No, Uttaramanavaka. Uttaramanavaka comes to Lord Buddha and say, my teacher is Parasariya. And he teaches us how to control our senses. Then Lord Buddha asks, how does your master teach you controlling your senses? Then Uttaramanavaka explains, Bhante, my master says, if you keep your eyes closed, if you don't listen to sounds. Oh, madam, I thought you are not coming today. Next week. You are the one who emailed me, yes? Yeah, I was wondering. So, I thought it can't be you because you said that you are not coming today. Anyways. So Uttaramanavaka said, Uttaramanavaka told Lord Buddha, my master Parasariya teaches us a way that you keep your eyes closed and you keep your ears closed, then we will have taming of senses. Then Buddha told Uttaramanavaka, in that case Uttaramanavaka, all the dumb and deaf people will have attained Nibbana by now. So he couldn't answer. When I saw this, I also felt the same way. But imagine if Buddha didn't teach us these things, we would have perceived the world the same way. Yeah, we are laughing at Uttaramanavaka because thanks to Lord Buddha. So before Buddha's time, Hindus, this Vedic system, they thought the attachment was with material things. They try to keep away these things, they try to negate with things, they try to get rid of attachments through getting rid of material things. So Passapacchaya, Vedana was not there. Passapacchaya, Tanha. Directly in Hindu religion, Passapacchaya, Tanha. The missing link was Vedana. So Buddha introduced this Vedana thing. That's the important part in Buddhism, because it's an invention by Lord Buddha. That's why Buddha says never this kama vattu and kilesa vattu. Kama vattu, you cannot get rid of them. Can you get rid of your people say that we love dogs, and getting rid of your own dog, will you not love any other dog around your neighborhood? Because there are dogs around us. So Buddha is the one who taught us how to be sensitive to sensation. Okay, now how do we perceive that we have a body? How do you know that we have a body? Huh? How do you feel? Because the heartbeat is there. So in your body you feel your heartbeat. There must be some thyroid problem then. You go and get you get a thyroid function test. Then through now we have gone through this. When you say anapana, what is that? Inhale, exhale, what is that? Breath body. What is breath body? I want the Pali term. No, not Kaya Vijnana is the one that gets to know through contact. Sabbakaya Patisangvedi. So what do you call this? Kaya Sankhara. Anapana means Kaya Sankhara. Okay, you get to know the body. But what is the thing that get to know? What is the how do you feel? There must be. We are feeling breath. Unless there is this thing called Vedana, we will not understand the body. But the problem with this understanding is when you feel this, what is our mistake? Sorry? Yeah. Who's thinking it's real? You make it. You make it yours. So that's why Vedana is a dangerous thing. Body is there, Kayanupassana is there. Through Vedananupassana, through the Chitta, it makes it me, myself, mine. So that's why unless we understand Vedana properly, unless we contemplate on Vedana properly, unless we take Vedana to be impermanent, anicca, dukkha, anatma, unless we put Vedana into 3 characteristics, this is another trap we will fall into. That's why Vedananupassana is there. What is this Vedana now? Now you get a headache and you take paracetamol. Yeah, but but you every other thing also you do the same thing, no? We'll try to patch up with permanent solutions. Do you, when you hit your leg somewhere, do you stop and contemplate on that Vedana? No, you will be going after Vintagino and Voltaren and looking for a bandage and everything. But where will you get the most painful moment in your life? Yeah, no, I'm asking why, when will you have to face Vedana in your life? Now, have you felt Vedana so far in your life? Yes. Okay, I'm not talking about breakups, divorce cases, things like that. Okay, when will this personally affect us?
When it comes to me.
Okay, when it comes to you. But what is I'm asking, what is the most decisive moment? Time of death. Time of death, this Vedana will come to you. If you don't know how to look at Vedana, all your life, 80, 60, 70, 80 years of practice will go into waste. Do you understand? Unless you don't have good samadhi, and if you don't know how to contemplate on Vedana, your mind will wander and you will be more concentrated on pain. You will just asking for more morphine. Other than that, you will not contemplate on that. That's why Vedana is very important at the moment of your death. Yeah, I wish everybody that they will die without pain, and the practitioners, even with the Western world now, those who have gone into Dhamma, terminally ill patient, they will never ask for a morphine drip, because pain is a wonderful meditation object. So pain will come anytime. Without you never know when the pain comes to you. So dealing with pain is very important as a human being. If you can master pain like any other thing, you are a pain-free person. There's no pain-free life as a human being. But if you can deal with these pains, you have achieved something spiritually. Okay. Now the definition of Vedana in Dhamma. What is the definition of Vedana in Dhamma? Can you go through the slide and tell me? Ya vediyati vedana sa vediyata lakkana anubhava rasa is the commentary explanation. That which feels the object is Vedana. That whatever the thing that feels the object is Vedana. What is the term for feeling? Passa. Okay, so passa. The characteristic is to experience. So what are we experiencing? Vedana. Okay, Vedana itself is experience. The function is to realize the object. What is the function? To realize. When you say that you realize, what does it mean? How you come to understand a thing? Vijnana. Yes. Now, can Vedana arise alone? No, Vedana cannot arise alone. We call it Passa Panchamaka Dhamma. With Vedana, there will be 4 other things we will study at the end when we go deeper. Today is only a general introduction to Vedana. But please understand, Vedana just don't come alone. It will come with 5 other important ingredients making it to your experience. So, Passa Pachaya Vedana. What is Passa? Contact. Okay. So how many contacts are there? 8 contacts. 3 contacts. Okay, how many contacts do you have? 6 contacts. I would like to know how you counted 8. Because I never know whether I am mistaken. That's why I asked. 3, yes. How did you? What is that? You counted as Sukha, Dukkha, Adukkama Sukha.
No, when you consider about the one of the one at a time. Ayatana, that we get 23.
How come?
Then
Now,
we can feel all.
yeah, at the same time, then, of course, one Chittakana goes into one. But I'm asking, when you say Passapachya Vedana, Vedana Pachya Tanha, explanation of Passapachya Vedana. Tatta Katama Passapachya Vedana. Tatta Katama Passapachya Vedana Kaya Sampassaja Vedana. Chakku Sampassaja Vedana. Sota Sampassaja Vedana. Jiva Sampassaja Vedana. Kaya Sampassaja Vedana. Mano Sampassaja Vedana. 6. Vedana Pachya Tanha. How many? 6. What are these 6? Tatta Katama Vedana Pachya Passapachya Vedana. Chakku. No Tanha comes now. We are asking Vedana. Chakku. Yes, there are also 6. Because we chant Paticcasamuppada every day. If you cannot relate this Dhamma to Paticcasamuppada, it's not Dhamma. We are trying to break the link, yes? So please note down, it's very important how this Vedana arises. Vedana Pachya Tanha. How many Tanhas are there? How many Tanhas? 6. Tanha Pachya Upadana. How many upadanas are there?
Three upadana.
Huh?
Three upadana.
3 upadanas. Okay, yeah, there is 4 upadanas. Yeah. Please remember like that. 6, 6, 6, 4. So when you say now we got the definition, we understood that Vedana will not arise alone. There should be contact, and through contact comes feeling, the Vedana sensation. When there's how do we identify sensation? It's through your Vijnana. So when you say later we will learn this Passa Panchamaka Dhamma, contact, Passa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. What does it mean? So as long as Vedana is there, the whole 5 clinging aggregates are there. So don't you think it's a problem? Yeah, that's why we are trying to penetrate into this Dhamma, you know. Now this is called Rupa Vedana, Arupa Vedana. What is Rupa Vedana? Yeah, the Rupa word is there, so it's material. But yeah, the mental Vedanas and non-mental Vedanas. But please explain few Vedanas. That is bodily Vedanas, please explain. I just want you to understand the concept of Vedana, because the same thing that we want to get rid of is the same thing that we like staying here. So unless you find a balance between these two, you will never be able to penetrate to this thing called Vedana, because we will be stuck up with our sensations. We like to feel, no? We like to feel, we like to experience, we like to touch, we like to taste. Venerable Rerukane Chandavimala says, if this Vedana is like a matchstick, you know, you light it and you put it on a pile of rubbish, it will create so many attachments. So the function of Sukha Vedana is what? Sukha Vedana will give you what? Huh? Oh, Sukha Vedana will give happiness. When you get happiness, what is the result of happiness? Attachment. Oh yes, Upadana. Dukkha Vedana will give you what? Aversion. Okay. Adukkama Sukha Vedana will give you what? If Sukha Vedana is going to give you attachment, Dukkha Vedana is going to give you delusion. What? Adukkama Sukha Vedana is going to give you delusion. Now this is the thing that you need to understand. When you get happiness, now when you get happy, do you ever stop and think that this is happiness? This is so fun, but you never look at the transient way of dukkha will, happiness will be happy as long as it's stable. When it changes, you will be unhappy. Dukkha will be dukkha as long as it's stable, but if it changes to sukha, you will be happy. Adukkama sukha is ignorance. Adukkama sukha is neutral feeling. You will be happy as long as you will understand it, but you will be unhappy if you cannot understand this adukkama sukha Vedana. So that's the dangerous thing of this Vedana. So you need to understand all these things before we go with our meditation. In Buddhism, how many Vedanas are there? Tisso ima bhikkave Vedana. Katamo tisso. Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, and Adukkama Sukha Vedana. Now you say 3 Vedanas. The King Pasenadi Kosala's carpenter, his name was Panchanga. He came to Jetavana and asked Venerable Sudinna, how many types of Vedana are there? Then Venerable Sudinna told Panchanga, there are 3 Vedanas. What are those 3 Vedanas? Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukkama Sukha Vedana. Then Panchanga told, no, Bhante, there are only two Vedanas. Buddha has expounded two Vedanas, Sukha Vedana and Dukkha Vedana. Adukkama Sukha Vedana is a refined state of Sukha Vedana. This is what Panchanga told. So Venerable Ananda was listening to this because this was a big dispute now. They were fighting, not being able to sort out. So Venerable Ananda took this matter to Lord Buddha, and Lord Buddha gives this explanation in Vedana Majjhima Nikaya 59. Dvepananda, this Dvepananda Ananda 2, Vedana Utta Maya Pariyayana Tissopi Vedana Utta, Maya Pariyayana Panchapi Vedana Utta, Maya Pariyayana Japi Vedana Utta, Maya Pariyayana Attarasapi Vedana Utta, Maya Pariyayana Jatinsapi Vedana Utta, Maya Pariyayana Atta Satampi Vedana Utta, Maya Pariyayana Evang Pariyaya Desitoko Ananda Maya Dhamma. There is this exposition by which I have spoken of two feelings. The exposition which I have spoken of 3 feelings, 5 feelings, 6 feelings, 18 feelings, 36 feelings, 108 feelings. Thus I have taught the Dhamma by means of exposition. So you can multiply these 3 types of feelings into many ways. How can you get, now I have shown the 5 Vedanas here. I have shown the 5 Vedanas, Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Somanasa Vedana, Domanasa Vedana, Adukkama Sukha Vedana. So please tell me how to get 18 Vedanas. Past, present, future. But future Vedana still has not arisen. So you cannot put into that classification. What if we put the 6 Vedanas, Chakku Vedana, Sota Vedana, Jiva Vedana, into 3 by Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukkama Sukha Vedana. Sukha Chakku Vedana, Dukkha Chakku Vedana, Adukkama Sukha Chakku Vedana. In that way, how many? 18. So like that, this is how Buddha is. Otherwise, you will not get 100 and different types of Vedana you cannot find. It's basically Dukkha, Sukha, Adukkama Sukha. But when you put into all these dwaras and all in Abhidhamma method, you can multiply as much as you like. Not like up to 108. So is that all? So then we will go into Vedananupassana in Anapanasati Sutta next week. Then I will bridge Mahasatipatthana Sutta Vedana into our practice. So separately we don't have to study Satipatthana Sutta and understand what that Vedana is. So I'm going to combine all Vedananupassana in these 4 lessons that we are going to study during the month of November. If you go to a Goenka center, Goenka G center, Vipassana, he totally guides his students on what? Sensation. Vedana. Completely on Vedana. So he masters this aspect throughout his practice. I mean, it's all Vedana. So it's very important. Any questions on Vedana? So today we can meditate for 45 minutes. I have arranged in a way that I give because other times we talk for 1 hour. Then only meditate for half an hour. So people get addicted to learning, not practice. Any questions? So there are many instances where Buddha explains, Buddha gives the value of contemplating on Vedana. Samahito sampajano sato buddhasya savako vedanacha pajanati vedananancha sambhavam. Yatta cheta nirujjanti maggancha kaya gamining vedanam kaya bhikkhu nichanto nichato parinibbutoti. If you are skilled enough to identify, isolate these Vedanas arising in your body on that particular moment, very quickly without any delay, you are not going to think about your headache that you had yesterday. And think tomorrow you go to bed tomorrow and think, oh, I had a headache yesterday. Not like that. When you are going through pain now itself, you try to do vipassana. In that way, Buddha says this Vedana can be used as a tool to achieve liberation. Pasapachya Vedana, Vedana Pachya Tanha. But the idea is Pasapachya Vedana, Vedana Pachya. Before going to Tanha, what are we trying to do? Pasapachya Vedana, Vedana Pachya Panya. Yes? So there is no Tanha. Through meditation, Pasapachya Vedana, Vedana Pachya Panya. If you have the wisdom in Vedana, then you will not convert your thoughts into Tanha. Can you do that? Try doing that. Yeah, this is the idea of Vedananupassana. So it's a small key. If you break it from here, the Paticca Samuppada will not go on. But very difficult thing. Because the moment you wear a perfume, Sukha Vedana, yes? Nice feeling. You forget the Vipassana at that time. You go to a shop, you will buy a shower gel. Do you think about Vipassana then? No. When you buy cotton shirts and all, do you think about Vipassana? No. When you ask for a leather seat in your car, do you think about Vipassana? No. If you can do that, while you are enjoying your luxuries, I believe you will achieve something. It's important when you go and order pizza, when you say seafood pizza, you think about Vipassana. No. But that's what Buddha is asking. Even while you are eating, taste. What is that taste? What with the Vedana? Jivha Vedana. That sensation, if you can do Vipassana, Vedana Pachya Tanha will not be there, but Vedana Pachya Panya will be there. How we are going to do this, we will study during next 3 days. I can give you another 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes to talk about Vedana introduction. Did I miss anything? So the Bahuvedaniya Sutta is the sutta that I gave in Sinhala. That's in English also, Bahuvedaniya Sutta. So what is the characteristic of Vedana at the end of the day? Whether it's Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana or Dukkhama Sukha Vedana, like everything else, it's bound by the 3 characteristics. But if you don't reflect on the 3 characteristics, in future we will learn to do 7 anupassanas. Constant observations we will learn in our 3rd class. So in that way, we need to look at Vedana. So why is it important in Anapanasati? We will study this next week. I'm just asking why Buddha included Vedananupassana in Anapanasati. He should have covered this at like in Mahasatipatthana Sutta. He should have finished with this with Kayanupassana after the body after the Kayanupassana. Why we need Vedananupassana in our breathing meditation? When you are doing something, you have to question why we are doing Anapanasati. We are just contemplating on our breath. How does Vedana fits here? Why Buddha wants to do Vedananupassana in our Anapanasati meditation? Obviously, if you are doing on Kayanupassana, it's okay.
Because we do experience different sensations and everything, so it's a good place to concentrate on it.
Yes. How can you? Okay. In Anapanasati Sutta, in Anapanasati, what feelings are more prominent?
It depends on the person. Sometimes the person will feel very uncomfortable in body sensation.
Yes, one
If
thing.
others will feel the sense of floating and go into more pleasant feelings. So
Can you be precise? Can you be precise?
To understand what life we are having with
No, we have studied this.
it appears and disappears.
Appears and disappears.
One each.
No, Buddha included Vedananupassana in Anapanasati because we are going to experience the 2 main jhana factors, piti Sukha. When this arises, it's a very strong attachment to this piti sukha. People like to stay here. They don't want to see beyond. You will come and sit down every day to experience this piti sukha. It's like taking a shower spiritually. You sit down and wait for piti sukha to arise. So that's another strong attachment. So we are deviated. So that's why he introduced Vedananupassana into Anapanasati and said, no, you are not going to get attached with this sukha, piti sukha. You need to look at this feeling and do your meditation. We'll study that next week. Yes, are we ready now for meditation? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now, in Buddhism, where can we find Vedana? In theory, where can we find? Six senses. Six senses. How? Where? No, I'm not asking how you can find Vedana, but in doctrine, like in theory, where can we find? In the Paticcasamuppada, there is Vedana. In the Panchupadanaskandha, there is Vedana. As Passa is very important for Vedana, how does Passa come to be? Yes. Not Tinnan Sangati Passo. But I want the line that is before that. Chakkuncha, Paticca, Rupe, Upajjati, Chakkuviññānaṁ, Tinnaṁ, Sangati, Passo. Okay, these are the things. If you can remember these things, is very important. Chakkuncha, your eyes. Paticca, Rupe, when contact with the Rupa arises, eye consciousness. Upajjati, Chakkuviññānaṁ, Tinnaṁ. Three things coming together will create Passa. Okay. Now, please tell me, when you say Tinnaṁ Sangati Passo, I believe you heard Bhante Tittagalle Ananda. He had a special talk on this Tinnaṁ Sangati Passo about him going somewhere, when you see something, you see an object. Okay. The object you see and getting to know the object, is it the same thing? Arammana and Arammana Rasa, is it the same thing? No, you see something. Okay. I see all of you as human beings. But when you say, okay, chakku is a bit complicated, let's say some taste, okay. There are two kinds of puddings here. One, I can relate to food, okay. So, so there is a caramel pudding and there is a custard pudding. They look alike a little bit, no? So, Arammana is the pudding. So, what is the thing that differentiates this? Custard pudding and a caramel pudding. No, color is the same. Taste. Yes, the taste is what? Passa. Yes. Arammana is something else. Arammana rasa is something else. Object is something else. How you feel the object is another thing. But what helps you to feel that object is passa. Okay. So now you have all the ingredients to practice Vedananupassana in the future. Please understand this is very important. People who cannot take this Vedana commit suicide in this world. Yes, they cannot handle it anymore. So, but we have a religion given by Buddha to take the same Vedana into practice and get out of this place. It's sad that people cannot understand this Vedana. They drink too much painkillers. I'm saying, it doesn't mean that I'm not taking Panadols. Talking like this. I take Panadols. But it's very important we go deep and understand this. People who have gone through a lot of suffering, They understand what Vedana is. I had a father who suffered cancer and who died in front of me. So I used to treat him every day. But he was going through a lot of pain. I worked in the military. I know all these amputees, these soldiers, Sri Lankan soldiers, how they suffered during war. So are they the only one? Each and every one of us here, we will go into our deathbeds and crawl from this side to that side, luckily. If in that way, road traffic accidents are better. You hit and go, that's it. But the very chronic deaths, it's you crawl this side, that side with pain. Remember me, Don't remember. No point of remembering. Vedana is very important. For those who people, I'm not saying Amisa is not important. But what's the point of going around the Bodhi tree when you go into severe Vedana? When we had tools to practice, Pratipatti. So when we are reaching our deathbeds, what merits you have done is very important for Pratisandhi, for your next life. But next life depends on how you take your last Pratisandhi Chitta with alertness, full mindfulness. If you cannot establish mindfulness properly when the moment of your death comes, you might go down, So it's very important that's why Buddha gave these teachings to keep us in a better position through samsara. So nowadays what happens is people usually do this Pichamal puja, this puja, that puja. When they are sick, they curse Buddhism also. I did so many pujas. Look what happened to me. I got cancer, leukemia, this and that. But they don't know if they practice well Vedananupassana, when that happens to you, nobody will be cursing anybody. It's a blessing to you. Oh my goodness, now I have a chance to practice. What a wonderful thing. Try to appreciate. This is Buddhism. Okay, use these tools. Don't wait for your diagnosis. Don't wait for something happens to you. Don't wait for your next root canal. So practice now Vedana. Not only we are not waiting for a suffocating experience. We are waiting for all the happiness also. We need to see what's behind our happiness. So the same reason this thing Vedana, when people cannot take it, they just want to commit suicide. Euthanasia. During, cancer, people, inject themselves with poison, so they can go easily. But is it going to stop their pain? No, it carries on. It goes on in samsara. So there's this nice story in Visuddhimagga. One monk, a senior monk, was crawling from this side to that side. The junior monks come and say, Bhante, you are turning from this side to that side. Why can't you take it? Is it you who's feeling the pain? Then the senior monk say, no, it's not me who's... this young monk is like in a very ridiculous way, he's telling the senior monk, why can't you be patient? Don't you know it's not you who's this pain is you are not feeling this pain. Then the senior monk tells the junior monk, yes, I understand, it's not, I don't take it as my feeling. It's the bodily pain is my aramana. As the aramana, I take it. Okay, then after a few minutes time, the air coming within his bowels, rip opens the body and all the bowels come into the bed. So the senior monk asked the junior monk, have I not been patient enough? This junior monk was so, yes, Bhante, I understand. Through that he got enlightened. This is in Visuddhimagga. So this is how we have to deal with pain. Okay? But even for a small mosquito bite, we make a big ha-ho and going after repellents, this and that. It's okay. It's not to have dengue is very important. Yeah. So did you get the idea of Vedana here? Do you know now? Can you understand why Vedana is important in our life? Do you think Vedana is a blessing? Yes. Do you think you will experience Vedana in your life in the future? Is it unavoidable? No. Vedana, you don't have to wait for death to come your way. Vedana is every moment. Right now the Vedana is there. You stay without moving for 10 minutes. That is Vedana. That is dukkha. Yes. Every moment there's Vedana. But we find ways to get out of it. You cannot stay at one posture. I always say Iriyapatha. Iriyapatha is the thing that hides the suffering nature of our body. You cannot stay at one. That's why we turn, even in sleep, we turn this side, that side. Unconsciously, we are getting rid of Vedana. Cannot stay at one posture. So, our idea is now to get this Vedana, contemplate on Vedana into our practice. So, you don't have to sit down and do meditation to understand Vedana. This is something that you can use on the go every time, because we are constantly bombarded with sensations. So whatever happy feeling, sad feeling, neutral feeling comes to your way, you need to quickly take it up, take a mental noting, and do vidarshana on it. Okay, we'll discuss more on other 3 classes. Pīti patisangvedi asasissāmi iti sikkati. Pīti patisangvedi pasasissāmi iti sikkati. Sukha patisangvedi asasissāmi iti sikkati. Sukha patisangvedi pasasissāmi iti sikkati. Citta sankara patisangvedi asasissāmi iti sikkati. Citta sankara patisangvedi pasasissāmi iti sikkati. Pasambayang citta sankarang asasissāmi iti sikkati. Pasambayang citta sankarang pasasissāmi iti sikkati. Now, last week we had an introduction to Vedana before going into Sutta, because to understand what Vedana is, so we have covered the most important aspects of that. Most of you were here. So when you say Pīti Patisangvedi, what does it mean? You are sensitive to Pīti. You are sensitive to, is Pīti happiness? No, we learn Pīti is joy. Sukha is happiness. Okay, Pīti Patisangvedi. You are very sensitive to happiness and joy, but still you breathe in, breathe out. Then we also discussed why we have included Pīti, Sukha into Ānāpānasati, because it's an experience. So when you experience happiness in your meditation, what are we naturally inclined to? Whatever that gives you happiness, you grasp it. So you like to, every day you like to meditate as long as you have pleasant feelings. When you have unpleasant feelings, few days you will give up your meditation, that's finished. So that's why Vedananupassana is included in Ānāpānasati mainly. So you have to recognize joy and happiness in your meditation. Now I said, Ānāpānasati Sutta, these 16 stages is a non-linear. This is not a step-by-step experience according to teachers, masters, the way you experience. But when you meditate, you will feel like that this is something linear, when you let go of body, if you can remember, when you enter jhana, when you have no kaya sankara, vaci sankara, chitta sankara arise, so there's happiness and joy. So Sukha Patisangvedi, Pīti Sukha, we have all discussed, you were not there. But if you can take the notes and we in detail we studied what Pīti and Sukha and how you deal with that. So now we need to understand Chitta Sankara Patisangvedi. We need to understand word by word. I teach you word by word, so in your experience you can understand. So where? Now we have to find the occasion where this is being explained clearly. So all this time we have been took Chula Vedala Sutta. So the same sutta I am taking today. Venerable Dhammadinna is established, she's a highly enlightened, not supremely, she's an arahant. So she's explaining to Visakha. So Visakha is asking, Katamo Panaya Kaya Sankaro, Katamo Vaci Sankaro, Katamo Chitta Sankaroti. Asapasso ko avuso Visakha Kaya Sankaro. You remember this when we studied Kaya Sankara. Venerable Dhammadinna is explaining Visakha. What is Kaya Sankara? What is Kaya Sankara? In breath and out breath. With Chitta Vitakka, what is Vaci Sankara? Vitakka Vichara. Then what is Chitta Sankara? Vedana Sanya. Okay? Asapasako avuso Visakha Kaya Sankaro Vitaka sankaro, vachi sankaro, sanyacha, vijanacha, chitta sankaroti. Those who you cannot understand Pali, I have given the English term in the paper so you will understand. Okay, I'm just reciting the Pali verses in a traditional way. I teach the traditional way, not just coming up with English. Because when you hear the Pali word, you can relate the meaning very easily. So what noble lady is bodily process, what is speech process, what is mental process. Now in here the mental process is perception and feeling is mental process. So what are we studying here now? Vedana is what? Feeling. Okay, sanya is, we will learn sanya later. Then Visakha is asking Venerable Dhammadinna, then please explain me kasma sanyacha vedanacha chitta sankaroti. Then what is why this perception and vedana is called chitta sankara? Then Venerable Dhammadinna explains sanyacha vedanacha chetasika ete dhamma chitta patibadda kasma sanyacha vedanacha chitta sankaroti. Sanyacha vedanacha chetasika. What is the meaning of that line? Sanyacha vedanacha chetasika. It is what? They are chetasikas. They are mental formations. You need to understand that. Okay, that is why this is mental process of perception and vedana. Now, how many Vedanas are there? Three. But previous week we learned that there is not only three, there you can explain it as 5, 6, 18, 36 and 108. But it's easy to learn them as Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukkama, Sukha Vedana. So now, Sukha Panaya Vedana kin Sukha kin Dukkha. Dukkha Vedana kin Sukha kin Dukkha kin Sukha. Adukkama Sukha Vedana kin Sukha kin Dukkoti. Now, Visakha, when Venerable Dhammadinna explained there's happy feeling, where there's sad feeling, unpleasant feeling, and when there's neutral feeling, Visakha is asking, what is this big halabalu of Vedanas? What is the theory behind? Then Venerable Dhammadinna is explaining, Sukha ko ausa Visakha Vedana, Titi Sukha Viparinama Dukkha. Titi means what? Tittang tarang nisinnoa. Titi means standing. Standing means constant. Titi Sukha. Titi Sukha, when it's stable, it's happy. Viparinamo, when it's change, it's suffering. Dukkha Vedana, Titi Dukkha. When there's suffering, if you have constant suffering, you are suffering. But when you take Panadol, you are happy. Because it's changing, you are happy. Vedana, Viparinama Sukha, you are happy. Adukkama Sukha Vedana, Jnana Sukha. Adukkama Vedana means what? Neutral feeling is pleasant. Jnana Sukha, if you understand that. Ajnana, when you don't understand it, you sad feeling. So this is what is that is explained in Chullavedalla Sutta. In other places also the same explanation. You need to understand these three important natures of our Vedana, feeling, sensation. Whatever the sensation that comes to you, it has these characteristics. It has the nature of suffering, it has the nature of changing, and it has the nature of non-self. Okay, now how is it so? Now there is a very important instruction coming here. This is the very essence of Vedana. Sukhaya bhikkave Vedanaya raganusayo pahatabbo. When you have Sukha Vedana, how can we use that? In a way, No. Now look into these words. Sukhaya bhikkave Vedanaya raganusayo pahatabbo. What is pahatabbo? What is pahatabbo? Eradicate, to remove, keep it away. So Buddha is asking to eradicate what through Sukha Vedana? Raga Anusaya. So when you have Sukha, it always means there is Raga arising from Sukha Vedana. So when there is happy senses, use that as a tool to eradicate craving, lust, attachment. Okay? Dukkaya Vedanaya Patigganusayo Pahatabbo. Pahatabbo is to remove. Patigganusayo means, Patiga is what? Anger, aversion. When you have unpleasant feelings, people don't understand this. Even a few weeks ago, a lady came to me and asked, Bhante, when you come with an unpleasant feeling, how can that be always aversion? Yes, when you see a snake, it's aversion. You just jump and you jump and you don't say, I love you, You jump and you find a stone and a slipper and a broom, a bhumithel, and it becomes all drama. So that's why the dukkaya vedanaya, you take when the moment, now through vipassana, very important, you come across lot of unpleasant sensations. The moment it comes, that's why Buddha says, if you can manage to identify that thought, you will not convert it into negative chittavitis, that moment. You understand, this is aversion. So either you can, radiate metta to whatever the thing, or you need to identify these things. Adukkama sukhaya vedanaya avijjanusayo pahatabbo. What is pahatabbo? To eradicate. Avijja means what? Ignorance. Ignorance. And this is adukkama sukhaya vedana. Why adukkama sukha is ignorance? Why neutral? You might find this a bit difficult. This is not for beginners. I'm not saying that you are a beginner. But even for intermediate advanced people, these subjects might be a bit difficult to comprehend. But please listen. If you want to continue, please listen and understand. I'm here for you to, any question I can answer, okay? These all people who are here, they have been here for some time and it's easy for them to follow. Why adukkama sukhaya vedana is avijja? You don't know, yes? It's a neutral feeling. You don't know how to deal with it. So when you don't know how to deal with it, it's always a state of confusion. So that is avijja. That's why in previous line it is said, if you know the neutral feeling, it's happy, you are concrete. But if it is, no, what is upekka? I don't know. So is this nibbana? You don't know. Is this sotapanna? You don't know. That's avijja. Okay? So use that. Use the same condition. You use your weaknesses. Look how beautiful this Dhamma is. Take your weaknesses and process them into happiness. Process them into a state of liberation. People come and say, Bhante, I get so angry. So what is Buddha saying? Use this anger to get rid of, use the bad feelings, you can process these into beautiful things. Through our weaknesses only we can find liberation. Saints are saints, they never get liberated. You don't have to be saints. You have to at some point, but anyways. So now the 8th line, passambayang chitta sankarang asasissamiti sikkati. Now in your meditation goes well. You have been observing now for 3 months. For the past 12 lessons, we were dealing with our body. Everything that has to do with our body through in-breath and out-breath. In the initial level, we learned 11 things that we can feel. Then we said we have to look at samanya lakkana. Then every quality of breath, how you feel, warm, cold, everything. Then you jump into your mind level now, chitta level. Now you deal with happiness, anger, and neutral feelings. So when it comes, now we need to let go of them also. You just cannot, battle with these things. So now there comes a point
Passambayang chitta sankarang asa sissamiti sikkati. Now we had a separate lesson for passambayang, if you can remember, to explain that word. I'm not going to teach you what passa ambaya, how it's calming down. Calming down, okay? Passambayang chitta sankarang. Now what is chitta sankara? Vedana sanya. Pasambaya means calm your Vedana sanya, perception and sensations in your breath while you are breathing. How are we supposed to do that? Yeah, of course, this is mindfulness. Yeah, very good. I'm not saying yes. I didn't know actually. Anyway, I will talk about that later. Okay, so yes, so Passambayang, ultimately now, what is Chitta Sankara Vedana Sanya? What is Vedana? Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Dukkhama Sukha Vedana. Now you have to let go of these things, okay? So while you are breathing, you understand that it is present with you. When Piti is arising in you, now so beautiful, so relaxing, rather than, you are determined to, of course you have to do your meditation, but still now you do your vidarshana. How this Sukha Vedana, please explain the 3 characteristics of Sukha Vedana. 3 characteristics of Sukha Vedana. Tilakkana. Yeah, Sukha Vedana is now there, but it will not be forever. When it changes, it is dukkha. Because it's changing, anatma. Because the Sukha Vedana, who is feeling this? You are not feeling. No, why you are not even meditating. No, why you are meditating with the idea that you are meditating? The 5 aggregates are feeling this. This is Sanya Vedana. You start with saying this is Sanya Vedana. This is how you are experiencing it. So it's not this neutral feeling is not yours. It's a neutral state. That's why it's neutral itself. So it's anatta. Can you do that? In meditation? Can you do that? Yeah. Otherwise, Buddha will not ask you to do that. So you need to do that. A lot of when the people come for Kammatthana, they say, Bhante, meditation was perfect today, yesterday. But today, no happiness, no pleasantness. It's obvious. It's good. You don't have to worry about these things. You carry on with your meditation, We are not going after something. Yes. These are just perks, results, additional things come your way. It's I'm not saying it's bad for a Westerner and all those people who have a lot of work and they are stressed. It's okay. They come for meditation and experience this calmness, happiness, and relaxed experience is very important because they come for meditation as a spa treatment. But Buddha, for a serious meditator, you experience that you have to let go. This is not ultimate truth. No, this is not ultimate happiness we are after. This is the happiness that is tricking our mind. This is a big trick done by the mind to give you little happiness within your meditation and keep still within the mundane world. It's not a supramundane experience. So unless you don't let go of the subtle happinesses, sadnesses, neutral, there's nothing substantial, emptiness, So I don't want to use the word emptiness because it's not used in Theravada Buddhism, used occasionally in few sutras, but you have to understand that vidarshana is to clearly cut through ignorance. This is device that you will not be tricked by your mind. So the idea of meditation is you are not being tricked by your mind and you are not going to be a slave to your mind also. So that's why we are dealing with these things. So I have one trains oneself to breathe in calming mental agitation and to breathe out calming the mental agitation. Now when you come to this level, any sensation in any way, if you say now we learned that Pasambayang Kaya Sankarang in our last line, we say our faculties are shut down, no? Eye faculty, nose faculty, ear faculty, tongue, everything is shut down because we have let go of our body. So when you shut down, is there any way that you can receive Vedana Sanya from those faculties? No. But this is, of course, if we take from the point of jhana. But in Vidarshana, we are not concrete, we are not saying like completely we have shut down our senses. But think, even if something comes your way through your ear, way through your nose, way through your tongue, mosquito bite, any spraying, you need to do Vidarshana. We put into Tilakkana. Okay? Ultimately, if you have totally let go of your body, if you are in a state of good samadhi, these things will not come to you. It's only completely dealing with your mind. Yeah. So, important practical points I have given. A yogi must be sensitive to piti, sukha at this level of experience in one's meditation. Okay. So, especially this is the advanced state of meditation where you are mostly dealing with your mental side of experiences. As I said, we have let go of our body. Whatever that is pleasantness, sadness, any agitation, experience need to be quickly identified. Quickly identified. Somebody, when you go home, if you have this Chittanupassana practice, Vedananu practice, you go and somebody shouts at you. But before responding, you stop and think. Not what he said, but how you feel. Huh? How important? Yes, you shout at me right now. And without replying, I think, what is my feeling now? I am hurt. Then I do, I'm hurt, and this is the result, and I have forgotten what you said, So you know how to do that. Stimuli and response, there's a gap. This gap is called sensation. Okay? Very important. These should be practiced not only during your meditation. You go home, you practice with your husband and wife, children, it's going to help you. Anybody can do this, when you sit down. Even a first day person can sit down and do Vedananupassana. That is not called skill. How you apply in everyday life is called skill. Then it's going to be very easy in your practice. At your working environment, you go to work, somebody is giving you a hard time. Don't, what he said, think, go inside and see how you are feeling. What is the sensation? Then what other people are saying is irrelevant. Then unnecessarily you are not getting other people's, rudeness, harshness. It's up to, I don't know, you can complain to your manager. But if you want to practice, ultimately you have to contemplate. This is called Vipassana. Isn't it a good stress-reducing method to do Vedananupassana? Then you will not be having any aversion. You are always constantly aware, present, and you are spreading metta to other person because he doesn't know. No. Yesterday, I was talking when I was in my retreat in Sunshine Coast. They were talking about how when Jesus was crucified, what was his words? He asked his father, the God, to forgive people who's doing this because they don't know. So you can easily forgive other people because they don't know Vedananupassana. But no, you know what your Vedana, at the end of the day, it's your Vedana, not their Vedana. It's because you cannot handle, Yesterday I was coming with a gentleman, he said, Bhante, lot of things happening at my working station and things are not going the way I want to. Why you want things to go your way? It's called Nitya Sanya, no? If you are constantly remaining in Anitya Sanya, then you will appreciate that things are coming this way. So happy. I was telling Sarad Mahatya, I like to be living in places where it's challenging. I don't want to be comfortable with situations. So you can always contemplate. This is about me, yourself. There's no point in shouting at other people if you cannot handle situations. So that's very important. Vedananupassana, don't take it as a spiritual practice. Everyday practice. Constantly you are put into situations. Contemplate on your sensations and do something for yourself. That person might go to hell, we cannot help, but you don't have to go because of that. Then, idea is to observe Piti Sukha. Please understand, idea is to observe Piti Sukha, neutral feelings, and understand their real nature in meditation. So then forget, I told you we are doing Vidarshana, forget about jhana now. Anything that comes from your 5 sense doors, you need to do vipassana. So any happy feeling, sad feeling, you are not going to proliferate. You are not going to be getting carried away with that. Happiness comes, you are happy. So because of your happiness, you wanted to stay in that situation. Oh, happy. Now you have forgotten your quest. Now you want happiness. So next day also you want to meditate for happiness. You have forgotten your quest for liberation. Don't, even with sadness, don't get swayed. Painful. No, I don't want to do meditation. Very painful. Can't stay, can't stay seated for some time. Mosquitoes. Welcome them. Well, isn't it? A lot of people say, no, not a good thing, very painful. So boring, I sleep. No, welcome them. You do Vidarshana. And these are the things that's going to bring you insights. That's why in the history of Buddhism, lot of people, lot of masters, all their life they have meditated, but got enlightened during their last moments. Through that enormous Vedana. That is the time where they get insights and liberate themselves. But while they were living, not much pain, not enough. You are happy. Either you are sad. Neutral feelings, you don't even know that you are neutral, So that's why it's very important. Practice is very important. I have given those who can understand Sinhala the words by Venerable Udayiriyagama Dhammajiva Thero's exact words being put down on your paper. But his same words I have given you in English today. Any questions? Regarding Vedana. You have any question about your sensations? As a human being, we have many sensations. So in Buddhism, we summarize them to happy sensations, painful sensations, unpleasant sensations, and neutral sensations. So ultimately, everybody wants to be happy, but when you are happy, you always the effect of being happy, you are craving. When you want something, ice cream can give you good happy feelings. But then again, it doesn't end there. You need more pizza, you need more ice cream, you need everything that is making you happy. So through meditation, we are not trying to get rid of this, you don't stop eating ice cream. We are not doing what we like doing, but rather we come to an understanding why we are doing this. So there are unpleasant feelings, but the problem with unpleasant feelings is you get aversion. You have a huge... what do you call that? Yeah, you negate it, you don't like it. The moment it comes, no, because simply you don't want that to happen in your life. So idea is not to keep away from, shut your eyes to the world and keep your eyes closed and widely keep your senses open. But understand this is a negative feeling, this is a positive feeling. The positive feeling will ultimately be negative. When there's negative feeling, ultimately it will give me unhappiness. When there's a neutral feeling, if I can understand that, that's okay. When I cannot understand, I'm in a state of confusion. So these things should be clearly understood at this level. Now please understand, this is the second 4 lines of Anapanasati Sutta. Where else can you find Vedananupassana in Buddhism? Where else can you find Vedananupassana in Buddhism? Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Next week we will study that. Now I'm going to bridge. Mahasatipatthana Sutta. In there are 9 ways of contemplating on Vedana. So when we study that, altogether we know what Vedana is. Then it's up to you to practice. Okay? So there you don't have to go looking for other Vedanas. Wherever you turn the page on Tripitaka, ultimately this is the Vedana. So when you go to hospital, you can say malaria Vedana, Bharava Vedana, cancer Vedana, AIDS Vedana, Badelia Vedana. That is all the same. Okay? It's only a label, diagnosis. But the feeling is the same. Accident Vedana, broken Vedana. Okay. So let's go for meditation. Good, huh? Very good. So, now the idea is, now you learn about Vedana. Okay? The idea is not to go here and there, everywhere, and sitting down with, even if you sit down with 1,000 masters, you're feeling, you are the one who is going through this. Okay? Try to sit down with these masters and practice. When somebody is hurting you, when somebody is abusing you, ultimately you are the one who is experiencing this. When I was in Myanmar, there was this Sri Lankan monk, a minor teacher. He was not a teacher, but he has taught me so many things. So since I am always joking, so I always joke around him, and he never laughs. Instead of laughing, he tells me, because of your talk, I have some happiness inside. He's looking at the Vedana, That's very important. We used to say, when we hear some music, we never think, that's Amaradeva, you start singing. We never stop and think, whether this is happiness or sadness or like that. So it's very important from now onwards. Otherwise, another 10-15 years. I'm not wishing that you die with cancer, but when you find out that you have a brain tumor, breast cancer, this cancer, that cancer, you will have emotional breakdown. So when you are dying, you don't have to be that emotional with your children and say, Puta, I'm dying, I'm dying. They know that. We all know that we are dying. So what's the big deal? But when you come to that point, you have to be smiling, isn't it? Because you have practiced Dhamma. Buddha has given these teachings. Where can you find this teaching? Show me any other religion in this world. I'm sorry. Where they have given direct experiences that you can devise, in a way that you can be happy, So it's very important. He has given everything. So unless you practice, yesterday I was telling with my children, we are like this. Okay, we come and meditation. The Tibetan master, he told us a story that we are like pigeons. Okay, you come and sit down, and pigeons, what they do is you turn this side and say ba 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 ba, and they are not problem, and sit down this way and say ba 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 ba. And till morning they turn this side and that side, and when they want to sleep, the sun has risen. So we are like pigeons. So no, employ these teachings. Okay, 1,000. You can go 100. You can go to Himalayas and ask a master for a nibbana. But these sensations are within us. You can employ these things. So when trouble comes your way, clear teachings are there. How to use it as Dhamma. And get rid of these things. I said Vedana, Pachya Tanha. Now I also told if you can find a way, Vedana Nirodho. Nirodha doesn't come with ordinary meditation. Please come. Vedana Sanya is a Chetasika. What is the stage that we don't have? Chitta Chetasika. No, Nirodha Samapatti. So we cannot go into Nirodha Samapatti unless we are enlightened. So until we attain that level, there is no true Nirodha. But there is a momentarily Nirodha, So very important, unless you stop the Chitta Viti down, formations, we will be catching up with something. So that monk, He always like that. We all was jealous because of him, because he had good samadhi. Now imagine, even if somebody is going to leave samsara, we are jealous. You know, we were very jealous because he just sit down and he sits samadhi all the time. If you one monk that is sure to be in meditation hall is him. So all the monks are jealous with him. Even if you have one robe to yourself, we are jealous. If he is practicing too much, that is also you are jealous. We are like that. So now you might be in your 50s, 40s. You have received a teaching. It's your responsibility to practice this. So that's why it is very important that you put a reversal to the concept called samsara. You are not concerned about samsara. You are concerned about tomorrow's work because today is Sunday. I know it's very difficult living a lay life and think about samsara and say we need to switch off samsara. But deep within our emotions, and we need to say, no, I'm going to stop samsara. This is too much of a burden and trouble. So if you have that kind of aim and target in front of you that I'm going to get rid of samsara, only this will happen to you. But idea is come and learn something and cheat for 1 hour and go home and enjoy with TV and all, that's not going to work. So those who are 100%, at least 99% concerned, please make sure that you do this. You will learn, and if you don't do this, when you come to that point, when you fail your exam, you will regret, no? I should have studied a little bit more. If I can go back, I should have done this and that. But do it now and be happy. These are simple things. Okay, look into yourself and think what is the true nature. Then you understand this is hetupala, no? Just thoughts coming and going, and we are getting attached. Not only that we are cursing the other person, he has no relation to us even. When somebody has relation to us, for example, your son is giving trouble, your daughter is giving trouble, your wife is giving trouble, not only that we are not being able to see our sensations, Vedana, but we are increasing our attachment also. Because we think, my son is doing something. And you don't realize your weaknesses. So it's very important to think about yourself, be a little selfish, and do this. Can do? Yes? Yes, okay. Very good. I'll try my best to do as well, okay?
So you identify it, and then what next?
Identify it, and there's no substance. Okay, you are happy. Okay, you are happy about something. What is this happiness? This is how long can you this happiness last?
So see this
See as it is, not to disappear, just to contemplate on it. It will disappear definitely. If not now, at least at the time of your death. So if sadness comes, if unpleasant situation comes, contemplate on it. This is very temporary, no? I have gone through enough trouble in life. Now I know when trouble comes, it's not going to last. Unless it's some big disease and any trouble, it will come and go. Unless it's a big headache or cancer or something like that, nothing to worry. So unemployment, these things are very little things, because you want to eat something, because you have big plans and ideas, you have to have a salary. But otherwise, the monasteries are there. People will bring dana. We are happy to ordain you. Please come. Life is a beautiful thing, Buddha makes it very easy to live and be happy. But because of your petty attachments, petty lifestyle, you think the monks are fools, maybe no. But, you just want to wake up with a bad breath, So anyways, I wish you all the very best. Thank you. Yasmin samaye bhikkhave bhikkhu pīti patisangvedi assa sissāmi ti sikkati pīti patisangvedi passa sissāmi ti sikkati sukha patisangvedi assa sissāmi ti sikkati sukha patisangvedi passa sissāmi ti sikkati citta sankhāra patisangvedi assa sissāmi ti sikkati citta sankhāra patisangvedi passa sissāmi ti sikkati passambayang citta sankhārang assa sissāmi ti sikkati
Passambayang chitta sankarang pasasissami sikkati Vedanasu Vedananupasse bhikkave tasming samaye bhikkhu viharati atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abijja domanassang Vedanasu Vedana anyatarahang bhikkave evang vadami yadidang asapassanang sadukang manasikarang tasmatiha bhikkave Vedanasu Vedananupasse tasming samaye bhikkhu viharati atapi sampajano satima vinaya loke abijja domanassang. Okay, so this is the third Vedananupassana on sensations, third meditation session based on Vedana, because we had an introduction saying why we are studying and doing Vedana. Vedana is sensation. Now, last week we finished the 4 lines explaining Vedana in Anapanasati Sutta. Yes, we also learned that in Anapanasati why we are contemplating on sensations, because Anapanasati, in anything that you do, not only in Anapanasati, when you sit down for meditation, there will be happy feelings, there will be sad feelings, then there will be neutral feelings. Whatever comes your way in your mind, you need to know how to contemplate properly. So that's why Buddha is giving a direct explanation. When the piti is present, when happiness and joy is present in your meditation, during your in-breath and out-breath. In-breath and out-breath, why there is a saying that in-breath and out-breath? Simply he is saying while you are breathing, this is the breath is still present. This is not a linear thing like I said. So if piti is there, contemplate, there is priti, and joy, happiness, sukha is there. Pajanati, sikkati, train yourself to identify happiness and joy in your meditation. Then we also talked about what is the third line? Piti, sukha, sorry, chitta sankhara. We studied what chitta sankharas are. Then chitta passambayang, chitta sankhara. So whatever priti sukha, whatever that is, ultimately you have to do your meditation in a way that you need to passambayang, calming, letting go, to the level of that you are not going to be aware of these things. If you are aware, then again you are attached, you are connected. Letting go doesn't mean completely you are not erasing, but in a way that mentally you come to a vidarshana. This is vidarsana, no? At the end of the day, you get to know what this is, the real nature of these feelings. So the particular line that I gave in this note today, this comes at the end of those 4 lines in Anapanasati Sutta, where Buddha is declaring, monks, if you do your meditation like this, being aware, training yourself to be aware for piti and sukha, for joy and happiness. And if you know what chitta sankhara is, and if you do your meditation in a way that you calm down these chitta sankharas, I declare this as a type of sensation, and I declare this is Vedananupassana. Now today's topic is, where else can we find Vedananupassana? Now in Anapanasati Sutta, Vedananupassana is included within Anapanasati. But if you talk about Mahasatipatthana Sutta, it's included separately. Anapanasati is included in what? Kayanupassana. Here in Anapanasati Sutta, Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana, all included within your breath meditation.
But if you study Satipatthana Sutta, they all are 4 different subjects, where Anapanasati is included in Kayanupassana. So does it mean doing Kayanupassana itself, doing Anapanasati alone means that you are doing the 4 foundations of mindfulness? That's the importance of Anapanasati. You don't have to take up things differently. Now today I am bridging Anapanasati Sutta and Mahasatipatthana Sutta together, so you can have an overall idea. You don't have to refer to these 2 suttas separately, because we are going to study Mahasatipatthana Sutta Vedananupassana today. Katanya bhikkave bhikkhu vedanasu vedananupassi viharati. Okay. Now in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Buddha is asking. Now this is a different sutta, not Anapanasati Sutta. This is Mahasatipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, which is very important. Monks, what is Vedana, and what does it mean by contemplating on Vedana? What does it mean by contemplating on your sensations? Idave bhikkave bhikkhu sukhang vedanang vediyamano sukhang vedanang vediyamiti pajanati. What does it mean? When a monastic has a pleasant feeling, yes, they clearly know, I have a pleasant feeling. Now this pleasant feeling, it can be bodily or mental. Then dukkhaṃ vā vedanang vediyamano dukkhaṃ vedanang vediyamiti pajanati. If there is an unpleasant sensation, let it be mental or bodily, he clearly gets to know this is a unpleasant. Now Arnold was not there. We already talked about how to. Yeah. So we have been talking when it's sukha, how it transforms. When it's dukkha, how it's transforming. So in that way we have to see. So when they have a painful feeling, they clearly know I have a painful feeling. When they have a neutral feeling, bodily or mental, they clearly know I have a neutral feeling. How do you get to know that you have a neutral feeling? If you are not either happy or you are not sad, but you are not feeling anything also. But as long as you can clearly understand that, then you are happy. But if you don't understand that, you are not understanding even. So that's called its ignorance, no? That's why Buddha says. So you need to understand these stages in your meditation. When your mind is tuned only, you grasp these very subtle points in your mind. Now the next part is very important. Sāmisang vā sukhang vedanang vediyamano Sāmisang sukhang vedanang vediyamiti pajanati. What does it mean? Sāmisa sukha. No, now already sukha vedana, the pleasant feeling, already described. Now this is Sāmisa sukha. There's a prefix. So what is Sāmisa? What is Niramisa? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. One thing is Sāmisa comes from where? To outside. Yes. Okay. Then how does Niramisa come? Oh, okay. So spiritual activities, Niramisa. Any other idea? Let's clarify these terms Sāmisa, Niramisa first. In Visuddhimagga, Sāmisa, Niramisa means out of your flesh. So a common English translation is carnal. And Niramisa means not out of your flesh. The common English translation is non-carnal. So I also had this confusion. For example, look at this translation. Samisa, pleasant feeling or joy with attachment. Okay, so does it mean Niramisa is non-attachment? Huh? So I had to go through another particular sutta in the Samyukta Nikaya, Salayatana Vagga, Vedana Samyukta. It's called Suddhika Vedana Niramisa Sutta. Now Suddhika Vedana is one sutta, Niramisa Vedana is one sutta. They come together in the canon. So Buddha, now this is Buddha's teaching, okay? This is not Visuddhi Magga. Buddha is teaching what is Samisa, what is Niramisa. Katamacha bhikkave Samisa piti. What is Samita joy? Now he is explaining what Samisa is. Panchime bhikkave kamaguna. There are 5 codes of sensuality. We call it 5 codes. What is other common term? 5 panchakama. They call it 5 limbs. Yeah. No, 5. No, not Panchindriya belongs to every. Panchakama means 5 codes of sensuality. There's another term, not only code, there's a 5. Okay, let's remember as 5 codes of sensuality. Panchime bhikkave kamaguna. Katama pancha. Chakkuvenyaya rupa itta kanta manapa piya rupa kama upa samhita rajaniya. Whatever you take from your eyes, whatever that you take from your nose, whatever that you take from your ears, whatever the thing that you take from your skin, potabba, whatever thing that you building within your mind, this is called, my mind is not there, up to potabba, this is called pancha kama guna. Any happiness in your life arising through these 5 places is called, five aggregates is different. 5 aggregates comprises Upa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana falls into this through your faculties, except the mind faculty. Other 5 faculties, it is called Panchakama Guna. Anything arising, any joy, happiness arising through these 5 is called Samisa. No, Lokottara Laukika, there is no, as long as you are taking happiness itself, as long as you are taking from these 5 things, it is sensual, no? That's sensual word. Lokottara Laukika don't, Arhants also take messages from these 5 places. Only difference is they don't get attached. They do get pleasure. They do get pleasure, but they are not. Their chitta viti is different. They are no javan, no volition, palachittas. They don't get attached. I will come to that. Okay. Imeko bhikkave panchakama guna. Now this is called the 5 sensual codes. Yoko bhikkave ime pancha kama guna paticca uppajjati piti. Paticca. Now what is paticca? Yeah, because of these 5 sensual codes, 5 sensual limbs arises piti. Ayang uchati bhikkave samisa piti. And now Buddha is teaching this is called samisa piti. Now understand, in Satipatthana Sutta there are 9 things that you should be watching when it comes to Vedana. This is just piti sukha. Not only piti sukha, now Buddha is saying there is also samisa piti. Samisa piti means anything that comes from your faculties. Okay? And Niramisa piti. Now Buddha is explaining. You said Niramisa. Now Niramisa piti, please understand. Ida bhikkave bhikkhu vivaccheva kamehi vivaccheva akusalehi dhammehi savitakkang savicharang vivekajang piti sukang patamajjanang upasampajja viharati. Vitakka vicharang upasama ajjattang sampasadanang chetaso ekado bhavang avitakkang avicharang samadhijam piti sukang dutiyajjanang upasampajja viharati. I have repeated these lines for the past 4 months many times. So how does Niramisa piti come into your life? First and second Jhana, whatever the happiness comes to your mind, is called Niramisa Piti. Now you understand. People sometimes they come and they say, "Oh, Bhante, I gave dana and I got Niramisa Piti." Giving dana, you cannot have Niramisa Piti, you know. When Buddha is is explaining, that is Samisa. Amisa Puja is Samisa. Mata Niramisa Pritiya. I fell in love and I got a Niramisa Priti. How can you fall in love and get a Niramisa? You don't go into jhana when you fall in love, no? So, okay. Why is good? So I have now clearly given. Remember this sutta, Samyukta Nikaya. I have given you references. Please read. Very beautiful. There is a long explanation, but the most important part. Then in the same sutta, Buddha is explaining. Now I am giving you additional information. Katama cha bhikkave niramisa piti ida bhikkave bhikkhu vivacheva kamehi vikanjana nammehi katama cha bhikkave niramisa nirami satara piti. Now there is normal happiness in your life, normal joy in your life. Then Buddha is talking about sensual pleasure and happiness in life. Then Buddha is talking about non-sensual happiness in your life. Then Buddha also talks about, in this particular sutta, niramisa satara. There is also a type of happiness that surpasses all these kinds of happinesses that I explained now. This will only happen in a fully enlightened being. And how that happiness arises? Yoko bhikkave kīnāsavassa bhikkhuno. Kīnāsava means no defilements, no ashrava. Bhikkhuno raga chittang vimuttang paccavekkato. Raga chitta. Now, Pali, very easy. This is not complicated. What is raga? No lust. Chitta, no lust mind. And paccavekkato means contemplation. When an enlightened monk contemplates and find out there is no lust in his heart, that is a higher kind of happiness a person can get. Then, dosa chitta vimuttang. When you contemplate on your life and you arises, there is no anger coming, and that is a higher kind of happiness. And when there is no moha, that is the type of happiness that we should always be targeting. What's wrong with the Niramisa Piti? What's wrong with the Niramisa Piti and joy? Piti Sukha. Yeah, jhana is a mundane level, no? When you are out of jhana, you are back into the same place and you get attached. But once you have now supramundane, that happiness, piti sukha, is lokottara. Okay? Please make a note, that's a supramundane type of happiness, where only enlightened beings can feel. Whereas all the other happinesses and joy we discuss in Satipatthana Sutta is targeted at reaching that kind of happiness, but still within the mundane world. Okay, now that is that sutta. So, please understand, Samisa and Niramisa. When they have sensual pleasant feeling, they clearly know I have a sensual pleasant feeling. When they have a spiritual pleasant feeling, Niramisa or Nekamma. Now this Samisa, Niramisa, over the past 2600 years, different monks, different commentaries have named in different names, but different explanations. But in that particular sutta, this is what Buddha gives a very direct explanation. You don't have to look for anywhere else, but it comes out of your body. When they have a sensual painful feeling, they clearly know I have a sensual feeling. Like this. How many feelings now? No. In Satipatthana Sutta, 9. Please remember, in Satipatthana Sutta, 9 types of Vedana you have to remember. Not remember to study, not remember as an academic. You not to argue with somebody and say, no, in Anapanasati Sutta it's 4. Satipatthana Sutta we have 9. Don't you know that? No, not like that. When it occurs to you, you should be skilled enough to understand. If you are in jhana, this is happiness, this is niramisa. Whenever other types of pleasantness, if the air condition is on, sometimes when you are meditating, you feel like that, no? Oh, thank God somebody has switched on the air conditioner. That is Sukha Vedana, Samisa Vedana. Contemplate. I've been talking about this for the past 2-3 weeks. So now, in Vedananupassana, please understand, the practice is revolving around sensations. Happiness, sadness, neutral. The way we look at these 3 kinds of feelings can be many ways. Buddha says you can put this into 108 ways maximum. So when it comes to Satipatthana, when it comes to Vidarshana, typically these 9 things are very important. But at this level, I am not saying you are going into jhana. When Buddha is saying samisa, niramisa, and niramisa occurs in a jhanic state, ultimately, even in Satipatthana, even in Vidarshana, doesn't it alternatively, indirectly saying that you should be going into jhana? Isn't it? So can anybody argue that Vidarshana doesn't have jhanas? No. When you go to that level, ultimately when you fall into that place, make sure that you are not going to get attached. That's the most important thing. Think logically. So now today we are going to finish the ways of doing. So summary of important points in cultivating Vedananupassana. 4 ways. Now we have learned 4 ways. 4 ways of doing Vedananupassana. First way is by reflecting upon the 3 characteristics. We already talked about it. How can you find anicca, dukkha, anatma in 3 sensations? We already talked. And by reflecting on the characteristics, nature, behavior of Vedana, can you remember? Can you remember what is the nature and characteristic of Vedana? No, that is anicca, dukkha, anatma. Sukha Vedana is sukha. As long as it's sukha, becomes dukkha. As long as it changes, it's dukkha. Dukkha Vedana is dukkha. As long as it's dukkha, and when it changes into sukha, you are happy. Adukkama sukha is happy as long as you know it, and adukkama sukha is sad, painful, you don't know it. Now these are the ways that you can employ Vedananupassana into your practice. First one is directly, whatever the Vedana comes, anicca, dukkha, anatma, you contemplate. Secondly, you clearly understand, this is Vedana. When you have a pain, either it will go. If I take Panadol, I'll be happy. If I don't take Panadol, I'm not happy. At the end of the day, at both ends, this is what I want. Nitya sanya. I'm taking a eternalistic, permanent view that I want to remain in that happiness. In that way, you have to contemplate. By yamkinchi veditang tampi dukkasming. Now, this particular point, yamkinchi veditang tampi dukkasming, I took it from Goenkaji's. Okay, this Goenka is the one who's telling, please take this line. If you can keep this particular line in your life, that whatever sensation one experiences, all are suffering. That if you can have it in your dashboard, if you can have it in your office desk, if you can have it in your toilet, if you can use this mantra in your life, whatever sensations I have in my life is all suffering. That is also a way that you can practice Vedananupassana. Quite an established way. Nothing goes to waste. And by the way of Sapta Anupassana, 7 constant observations. Do you know 7 constant observations? Now, 7 constant observation is a very important thing in Vipassana world. It's an ancient system. Okay, this is a complete book written on the Sapta Anupassana. We cannot study all this unless if I remain, we can study in the future. A detailed instructions how to do Vidarshana according to this 7-step method. Written by one of the great meditation masters in Sri Lanka, Matarasi Jnanarama. Unfortunately, it's in Sinhalese, but if I decide to teach you, I can bring it in English and study step by step. Now, these are the 7 contemplations. Now, very important if you can employ this, for me, very interesting. Observing anicca, impermanence. When you are contemplating on anicca, what are we expecting out of that? What is the thing that we are trying to eradicate? There's a bit of gender segregation here today, no? Males have gone to this side and female. Attachment, yeah. Eradication of, I have given the answer there. Eradication of perception of permanency. When you are contemplating on suffering, what is the thing that we are trying to eradicate? Happiness or sukha. Anatta, no soul, leading to eradication of perception of soulfulness. Observing nibbida. Nibbida is what? Nibbidaya, viragaya, these are the terms coming in Satipatthana Sutta. And nibbeda bhagya sanya, Buddha always tell, very important, unless somebody doesn't have this 5 nibbediya bhagya sanya, he will not be jumping into Maggapala. Whatever meditation that you do, please see whether you have this nibbeda bhagya sanyas, you have dispassion. Some people do meditation and they say, I do attika sanya, I do 32 parts. When they develop nibbeda bhagya sanya, they try, when they see their wife and girlfriend, they feel, oh, now I am having some kind of detachment. And they stop doing that because you get scared, no? You're deep within you, you still want to be with them. Even as a monk, I found this very difficult. I am doing, the meditation comes and suddenly you feel like, sensual pleasures cannot leave that easily. You feel, oh my God, my lust is going away. That's something that I cherished all my life. So when you are really doing this, you come to a point where you have to leave this and you say, no, this is not a good sign. But that is a very good sign. If you keep doing that, dispassion will be there. You will not, these are the things that are important. And nibbida, dispassion. Observing viraga, detachment, leading to eradication of attachment to formations of sensual pleasures. Observing nirodha, cessation, leading to eradication arising, the tendency of arising. This nirodha, cessation, we have already taught how to watch this nirodha. Observing Patinissaganupassana, letting go. Ultimately, you contemplate on the letting go of things as well. You can employ these 7 things not only in Vedananupassana. In each and every meditation that you do, if you take it as vipassana, clearly it's all described here. I will hopefully we will try to study this in the future if we can finish Anapanasati Sutta on time. No, I hope it will not take another year. So everything clear? Any questions on how? Madam, you wanted to learn what is vidarshana, no? The other day, now this is vidarshana, while you are living your life, happiness, sadness, whatever comes your way, quickly contemplate. Tatta vipassati, Buddha says. As they arise, clearly see. Don't have to come to a temple and sit down and do meditation in that way. Somebody calls you and say, oh, Loku Amma passed away. Don't respond. Dukkha Vedana, Dukkha Sanya. Yeah. And then you can tell, wait, I'll do a little bit of meditation and respond. Then you forget, no? Seriously. No, I'm not asking anybody to be stupid in that way, but this is how you do. Yeah, everything 24/7. If you can keep recalling and whatever things coming your way. Now Buddha says, Samisa, no? Samisa comes from your eye, ear, nose, and body, happiness, sadness, neutral feeling. Even you are drinking water, you can take that as a meditation object, because water has the quality of neutral.
So if you are doing samatha bhavana, can you go?
No. Sorry. So stick until you have to stick with your samatha. Don't mix up all these things. It will get confused and you will not go anywhere. Samatha meditation practitioners should not employ vidarshana until you have thoroughly established in good samadhi. Good samadhi is always described by 4 jhana. Okay, what's the time?
You said on the Niramsa, you said jhana was mundane. Did I understand that correctly?
Jhana is always mundane. As long as if you have achieved sotapanna and you go into jhana, then it's a supramundane jhana, because you have reached one level of enlightenment. Ultimately, if you have reached nibbana and then still you are going into jhana, that is supramundane jhanas. As long as you have not reached any level of enlightenment, it will always be supramundane. So that's why the monastics are not that interested in practicing jhana, no? But Buddha always gives jhana, although it's not supramundane. Jhana shows the ability, jhana gives us the capability to control our own mind. That means you are in control of your mind indirectly. So how can you say it's a bad thing? Yeah?
Just going back to the Anapanasati, can you just elaborate a little bit on these mental formations? So without explaining, breathing in, breathing out of the mental formations.
Mental formations we all discussed last week. If you can, it was completely described word by word, taking Chullavedalla Sutta from Dhammadinna. What is mental formations? But then Dhammadinna says to Visakha, Visakhe Chitta Sankara is Vedana Sanya. So it's all explained in my previous talk. That was last week.
Feelings and perceptions.
Yeah. Chitta Sankara is feelings and perceptions. And we took Chullavedalla Sutta for reference. Okay, did you see my previous week's notes?
Yeah, Salah sent it to me. I listened to it, but I'll have to go back and listen again.
Yeah. It's all explained there. Yeah. Chitta Sankara, Kaya Sankara, Vachi Sankara, all these types of Sankara explained in Chullavedalla Sutta. So Vedana Sanya, idea is if it is Vedana Sanya, how we have to perceive that in the first place and how we have to let go of these things, ideally. It's a process of continuously coming aware, coming into awareness, coming into recognition, coming ideally, not holding to anything, letting go. Consistent maintenance of Vipassana. Okay, time is up for meditation. Any other question? Yeah. Adukkama Sukha is neutral. Adukkama, no dukkha, no sukha. You cannot classify it as unpleasant sensation or pleasant sensation. If there is a slightest happiness in your sensation, that is sukha. If there is a slightest unpleasantness in that, that is dukkha. They are neutral. When you first sit down for first 5 minutes, it's a very pleasant, not even that neutral, no? And then you progress into some kind of happiness. Then after 15 minutes, it's almost dukkha vedana until I ring the bell. So you have 45 minutes of contemplation time if you are doing vipassana. Rather than waiting for me to ring, you can do continuous Vedananupassana if you are doing this. But do it in order. That's very important. Any questions from the gent side? That is a technical question. We cannot take any external stimuli only from an organ. Mind ultimately process all these things. That's why it is not explained. Okay? Everybody knows, like, if the mind is not there, the feelings are not there. That's why we always say pancha kama guna, pancha kami alima, five sensual codes, everything is processed in vijnana. Okay?
What about the remembering something, it may not be stimulated from the outside?
Always remember, there is pancha dwara varjana chitta, a mind arising from the 5 doors, and mano dwara varjana chitta, no 5 doors involved but coming from the mind. And there is also a third category of chittas, dwara vimutta chitta. No, manodwara varjana chitta doesn't need to have all your dreams, fantasies are manodwara varjana chitta. And dwara vimutta chitta, vipaka chittas, in Abhidhamma we study 31 types of chitta where no gate is related to these chittas. So, what was your question?
The remembering something.
Remembering comes from remembering that object again and again. It doesn't involve any of the gate. Yeah.
So then it not become part of samisa?
It becomes a samisa because it's processed by the mind. Okay? So, if you cannot understand samisa clearly, please understand like this. If anything that comes outside first and second jhana is samisa. Simple as that. Anything that comes outside first and second jhana. Second jhana is piti sukha, vitaka vichara piti sukha ekaggata, first jhana. Sukha priti, the rest of the thing is second jhana. Outside jhana, everything is samisa. Niramisa can be only achieved through, in other words, by putting down the 5 hindrances. When you don't have any dealing, when you are giving a dana, when you are performing a charity, when you are doing something, if 5 hindrances are not there, it means you are in a jhanic state, and that is a niramisa, out of flesh, non-carnal. Okay. Chanting at a meditation class. Yeah, no, one effect is to calm you down. We are going to do this meditation without that is also, when you don't know the answer, you can come up with a lot of answers. At the exam, you come up with a lot of answers. Yeah, okay, that's right. No, what we are trying to do here is, Buddha gives us 5 gates to enlightenment. Say Dhamma Savana, you are listening. Dhamma Sakaccha, we are talking. Dhamma Manasikara, we are thinking about Dhamma when we are talking and listening. Dhamma Sajjayana, that is the part, okay? Dhamma Sajjayana and Bhavana. So at a place like this, all these 5 doors are practiced. That's why a little bit of Sajjayana. And we are not doing something. This is Paticcasamuppada is very connected with the teachings that we are doing, no? So just opening up all those 5 doors is the main intention of my chanting. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Sajjayana is reciting. Yeah. Reciting Dhamma. Manasikara is contemplating Dhamma. Okay, go. Now, what is the best time to do this kind of a meditation? All the time. Yes, from the moment you wake up and until you go to sleep. And the little minute that you fall asleep thinking, oh, it's good that I am falling asleep, that minute is even enough to contemplate. From the time that you wake up until you go to sleep every day, our life sways between suffering and suffering. Okay? But little pleasantness that we perceive as happiness always turns into unhappiness, and you need to reflect again and again. Sometimes when we see somebody else suffering, we say, "Ayo, don't, yeah, please." You feel like may he not suffer. But then again, the more pain in Vedananupassana, the more gain you will have. So, Vedana is a very good teacher. When you are born into this world as a human being, you never can say that I don't want pain, I don't want sensations, I don't want happy feelings, I don't want sad feelings, unpleasant feelings. Buddha's teaching, he started with feelings, no? Katamacha sa bhikkhave, what is the first noble truth? Dukkha satya, jatipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, vyadipi dukkha, maranapi dukkha, all based on these all jati, jara, vyadi, marana. Why they are jati, jara, vyadi, marana? Because of sensation. We say we are dying. Why death has a very bad taboo-like thing in our mind? Because the unpleasant sensation related to that. But if you can embrace death as a happy thing and you see it as it is, then there's nothing in it. We are just... So what is the ultimate objective of Vedananupassana? See things, your eyes are there to see, no? That is the whole objective of Vidarsana. But I need one particular word coming out of you. What is the objective of Vedana? To understand that there is no person going through sensations. There's no me, myself, there's not an individual within ourselves who's experiencing this. This is the ultimate realization that you need to come through Vedananupassana. As long as there is somebody who's feeling these sensations, there will be always sensations, happy, sad, neutral. If there's nobody, then it's just a floating cloud. So through this meditation, you need to come to that realization. You will come to that understanding when there is no self-view. Yeah, very important. So that's why Buddha comes with Vedananupassana, another very important place where it is deeply rooted in the wrong self-view. Now we have an array of sensations. And we have several methods that we discussed how to deal with. First one, whether you are sitting down for meditation or not. In your daily life, let it be at home, let it be at work, let it be in a shower, bathroom, wherever you are. Whatever sensation that comes your way can be reflected, can be contemplated as this is impermanent, this is a suffering nature, and there is no self. Or you can reflect it as the nature of the feeling itself we discussed. Or whatever comes your way, everything is suffering. That is a bit pessimistic view. People, those who doesn't want to practice, they will say this is pessimistic. Isn't it? Those who want to practice, whether it's pessimistic or optimistic, as long as it is realistic, that is what matters. So you practice it. At the end of the day, having a pessimistic view and end result is liberation, that's happiness, no? What is the views for what? Buddha says have right to sammaditi. Otherwise all these capitalistic views are not important in practice. So the fourth method, you have to have the what is the fourth? 7 contemplations, 7 constant contemplations. We already discussed. And yankinchi vediyatang tampi dukkasming, that is the word that we use. Next week, I'm going to finalize Vedananupassana. We will go a little bit deeper to how to understand the nama and rupa aspect of Vedana. How Vedana is going to connecting to the 5 clinging aggregates, we will understand. And little bit of patthana. How this Nisaya Pachayo, like that. Then we are done with Vedana. There's nothing more, nothing less. We have covered everything. So it's a matter of finding ways how to tackle this. So before the year is end, you have instruments, you have a set of tools that you can practice for the rest of your life. Then ultimately there's no Vedana, no? Ultimately there's no Vedana. Ultimately there's no sensations. Is there a sensation ultimately? No, yeah. Just all our mental formations and perceptions coming into play, and we label them, yeah, as long as it's pleasing and who's pleasing us, and it's fun, yeah. And when we are hostile to a certain thing and it's unpleasant. So Sali asked what about mental things, when people don't contemplate this way, they don't do vidarshana, a little unhappiness can go a long way, and ultimately it becomes depression. Then you need tablets, no? If counseling, psychiatrists turn the page and come back to Buddhism. Yeah. Yes, they come back, but it's too late for the patient. You have to give shock treatment, you have to give a lot of psychotic drugs. But when you are going through your divorce, like I said, when you are going through your breakup, when you fall down, when you are going through your mortgage, you understand things as they are, no worries, life goes on. Yeah. So very important, not only during meditation, all life 24/7, sensation should be practiced. When you come to the realization there's no person going through this, that is the ultimate realization. You have let go of your body. Very important. Okay, I wish you good practice. Sabbhang Vedana Pacchayati Ayamekhanupassana Vedananan Tveva Asesang Viraga Nirodho Natti Dukkhasa Sambhavoti Ayang Dutyanupassana Ataparang Etadavocha Satta Sukhang Va Yadiva Dukkhang Adukkama Sukhang Saha Ajjattancha Baiddacha Yankinchi Attiveditang Evang Dukkhanti Nyattvana Mosadhammam Palokitang Pussa pussa vayang passang evang tatti vijanati vedananang kaya bhikkhu nichato parinibbuto. Okay, so now when you say looking at your mind, I think the most important thing is looking at the Vedana, because it's a feeling at the end of the day. So when you say I got a pleasant feeling, when I have a bad feeling, when I have a feeling, a neutral feeling, can we ever stop feelings? Can we ever stop feelings? Can you please think about that? Is there? Why? When you are sleeping, there is no feeling. Yes, you are so sure about that. Yes, but if some people, I know that I have seen dreams, but in the morning we cannot interpret these dreams, no? So it's not a period. So if you say that during our sleep we don't have feelings, then Buddha would have clearly said during our sleep you go into Nirodha Samapatti, because there is no Chitta Chetasika. No? So sleep is not a state of Nirodha Samapatti, because the Bhavanga Chittas are there and the mind is still there, because we dream, we might not remember, but the gross sensations would not be there. For definitely we will not be crying and laughing in our sleeping. But yeah, I've seen people who are smiling in their sleep, they don't know, who are crying and sad in their sleeping. Yes, there are people who would sleep and who would sleep, and they will start telling the whole day. You know, I told you one story that we had a servant, and it was very easy for my mother to get to know what happened during the day, because you let the servant sleep, he would just repeat everything that happened in his sleep. You know, it's a matter of, you know, making tea when he's sleeping. So it's like that. So we learned now how to, when it comes to meditation, how to recognize first of all these Vedanas, then how to when upon recognition, whatever the sensation that comes to your mind or body, how to interpret them, how to analyze them, and not to get attached with them. Please understand, in a initial level, our Vedanas, we cannot say, we cannot get rid of Vedana. Even Arhats, they had the physical Vedana, you know, when they are dying, they had the Vedana, but the idea is we are not going to get attached to this sensation. It's the most important thing. Especially when I talked about this with Bhante P Ananda, he told me that actually the Vedana thing, there is a term Nirodha Samapatti in Buddhism. We we study that Nirodha Samapatti is always explained in Tripitaka, first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, fifth jhana, sixth jhana, seventh jhana, eighth jhana, which are immaterial jhanas. Then suddenly come up the accession into cessation. So he is explaining, when Buddha claimed that he found something that Pubbe Ananosutesu Dhammesu, I have discovered something that has not been discovered before. But all these jhanas and all, that has been there, no? So there is nothing for him to discover in that aspect. So this he explains in Nirodha Samapatti is something that you should come completely through Vidarsana knowledges. Nirodha means you come into cessation through Vipassana knowledges rather than Samadhi. Now there is a logic in that, if you think, there is a logic in that, because they say, in Buddhism, they say only a Arhat can go into Nirodha Samapatti. So if everybody can go up to eighth jhanic level, what is the thing that is preventing us from going into Nirodha Samapatti? In that way, it's true, So we have to think about these things. So last time I talked about 7 Anupassanas. Who can remember those 7 Anupassanas? Aniccanupassana, Dukkhanupassana, Anattanupassana, Nibbidhanupassana, Viraganupassana, Nirodhanupassana, Patinissaganupassana. Now this Dvayatana Sutta, Sabbhang Vedana Pacchayati Ayamekanupassana. Okay, Sabbhang Vedana Pacchayati Ayamekanupassana. Now there's a word Anupassana here. When you say, ma'am, you have a paper with you? He's already meditating, yeah? So, the lady next to you, she has a paper? Yeah, you have? Yeah, okay. So, so when you say, whatever suffering, okay, Sabbhang Vedana, please understand the Vedana, although I have translated here the suffering, please make sure that it's sensations coming from 5 clinging aggregates. Ayamekanupassana, if you can, now this is again, now we have already given 4 techniques to do Vedananupassana. This is another method that I found in this particular sutta. They say whatever Vedana, you grasp that. The moment it arises, that should be a constant contemplation, anupassana. Okay, that sabbang vedana paccayati ayamekanupassana vedananang teva asesa viraga nirodho nati dukkassa sambhavoti ayam. Okay, ayamekanupassana vedanang teva asesa viraga nirodho nati dukkassa sambhavoti ayam dutyanupassana. Now Now there is the first contemplation, and what is the second contemplation? With complete cessations, there is no further arising of suffering. This is the second anupassana. So if one can, if one can clearly observe your sensations, that is very important that you contemplate this again and again. Sensations will be there. When in Nirodha Samapatti, they say the complete cessation of Vedana is not there. So then you come to an understanding that Vedana is also absent. Sensations are absent in that level. That is the second constant contemplation. Please understand, yes? So that how you employ this. Sukhang va yadiva dukkang adukkama sukhang saha ajjattancha bahiddacha yankinchi ati veditang. Whatever sensations one experiences in the body, pleasant, unpleasant or neutral, inside or outside, all are suffering. Okay, all are illusory. All are ephemeral. Because when Vedana itself, when you say Vedana itself, sensation itself, what is the message that we get? That there's somebody suffering. There's somebody feeling this. The idea is to find that there is nobody suffering because of the 5 clinging aggregates. We are grasping that sensation, and thus by the consciousness there's it's creating a feeling, and it's also creating somebody who's feeling this. So we need to understand this through meditation. So that's important. So I have given, we have always talked about Paticca but hardly I have gone to Patthana. In my previous explanations. Now this is when it comes to Vedana, this is the explanation in Patthana. So how Vedana itself, please understand, Buddha clearly says, if a person, you and me, we all, unless we go beyond these 3 places, Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukkama Sukha Vedana, happy feeling, sad feeling, neutral feeling, if you cannot go beyond these 3 feelings, you will never get enlightened, or you are not enlightened. Okay, to claim yourself that I am a fully enlightened person, you have gone beyond these 3 places. The sensation might be there, but you are not attached to it because it's not yours. Unpleasant sensations might be there. It might be even giving you a little bit unpleasant this thing, but you are not attached. So it's very important, unless we don't get enlightened, it is within these 3-fold spectrum that we live our whole life. Our life goes with happy feelings, sad feelings or neutral feelings. It's like a triangle. We always live within this triangle if we don't get enlightened. To get enlightened means to go beyond this. So that's why Vedana is very important. So Buddha is saying, Kaikang sukhang kaikasa sukhassa kaikasa dukkhassa palasamapattiya upanisse paccena pacceyo. Kaikam sukhang kaikasa sukhassa. Pleasant body sensation is related to pleasant sensation of the body, unpleasant sensation of the body, and attainment of fruition by strong dependence condition. If you have happiness sensation, how it is linked to other sensations? If you are happy, ultimately there will be, you are related to happiness plus unhappiness plus neutral feeling. Yes, hello ma'am, please come and sit. Please take a note if you want to follow, or you can just listen. Yeah, but we are going to do meditation. Okay, thank you. Take your seats. And are they in the right program? Are you just visiting us here?
No, we have come here for meditation.
Okay, sure. Oh, yeah, sure. Please sit down here. So, because I have not seen you before, I thought you have mistakenly come here. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, okay, sure. Enjoy. Yes. Yeah. So, plus, Now pleasant body sensation, do you know how to, it's going to be ultimately pleasant body sensations, if you have, it's going to be a cause for enlightenment. That part, you understand? Then Kaikang dukkang kaikasa sukasa kaikasa dukkasa palasamapatya upanisena pachyo means you have an unpleasant body sensation, then it's related to unpleasant body sensation. It is also related to happy body sensation and neutral body sensation, which will also be a reason. Upanisaya means that will help for you to get enlightenment. Utukayikasa sukasa kayikasa dukkasa palasamapatya upanisena pachena pachyo. Utukayikasa. Utu means what? During winter time, are you no, I was in Townsville, okay. It was so hot, so dry. The moment I got down, I was tearing, my allergies came up. And after 1 day of workshop, they say, Bhante, you need to come here again. I said, I have to think about it. I will let you know when I come back to Melbourne. And when I came here, the weather was 16 degrees. I was so happy to be back in Melbourne. Then I called Aya Padma. And Aya Padma said, how was Townsville? The temperature here is 5 degrees. I said, sadhu, sadhu. I can't wait to come there. Yeah. So, when the temperature goes up, I am unhappy. When the temperature goes down, I am happy. So I am living within that frame. Yes. So I curse hot weathers. I appreciate cold weathers, and I don't know how I will remain in neutral. I don't much care. So so if we can employ these seasons, that itself is going to give us enlightenment. This is patthana. It will take some understanding to realize this. Bhojanam kayikasa sukasa kayikasa dukkasa palasamapatya upanisena pachena pachyo. Now when you eat, do you think about that? Do you ever? Now this is another aspect of food. You sit down and you eat. Some doesn't like to eat all this, achar and jari and all. You say, oh, what horrible thing. How can you eat this thing? Now, do you ever think now this can be a factor for enlightenment? When you eat all these sweets, tiramisu and gulab jamuns, do you think this can be a factor for enlightenment? No, this is what the Dhamma is saying. Okay? So, bhojana. Now, senasanam kayikasa sukasa kayikasa dukkasa. Your dwelling. People usually want to make their dwelling a comfortable place. You build your houses with jacuzzis, air conditioners to make it comfortable. But nobody, I have never heard somebody saying, I am making it in a comfortable way so I can realize Dhamma. No. Then you go to a less comfortable place. That is also a factor for enlightenment. This is patthana. Okay. Now, now for Venerable Ananda, for his realization, how did it help? It was said that when he was going to lie down, no? So his iryapata was I believe, I don't know whether it's the bed itself, but it was helpful for his enlightenment. So this is patthana. You need to at least I'm not saying, if I say you need to finish Abhidhamma to understand patthana, it is not necessary, but another dimension that we have not thought about when it comes to Vedana. Yeah, we always think dukkha is only dukkha, and if we touch that extreme, we will not be able to touch the other extreme of happiness. But you can. So within these three places, happiness, unhappiness, and equanimity, there lies realization. If we employ our mindfulness, if we employ our thinking, we can come to an understanding and we can go beyond sensations. So Buddha clearly said, Vedyamanasako pahanam bhikkhave idang dukkhanti panyapemi. I am dukkha samudayoti panyapemi. I am dukkha nirodhoti panyapemi. I am dukkha nirodha gamini patipadati panyapemi. To one who experience sensation meditators, I teach the truth of suffering. Those who can clearly recognize your sensations, happiness or unhappiness. Now when somebody says, who are the persons, who are the people in this world who will not recognize their sensations? Huh? Anybody who's trying to deny the fact that there is suffering. I don't want to suffer. There is no suffering. There is only happiness. I want to go after happiness, 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 but you are not going after happiness. You are only going after comforts. Let's say even after going comforts, you are getting some happy feeling. For those people, it's very difficult to realize Dhamma. That's why Buddha directly say, my teaching is there for people who recognize there's suffering in this world, there's unpleasantness, there's unsatisfactoriness. So you need to clearly acknowledge that. You need to clearly accept that without going into denial. So if you can feel pain, that's why during last moments, this summer CC, the Arahants, they contemplate on Vedana, no? Through that unhappy sensation, there is a Dhamma that rise in them in unbelievable ways. I am dukkha samudayoti paññāpēmi, I am dukkha nirodhi paññāpēmi, I am dukkha nirodha gāmini patipadāti paññāpēmi. To one who experiences sensation, monks, I teach the truth of suffering, the truth, all four noble truths can be given, can be learned, can be realized with the person who acknowledges that there is suffering, okay, through sensations. Now, all this time we had a mixture of Vedana. We most of when Anapanasati Sutta for the past 3 days we only discussed mainly Arupa Vedana. Okay, what is the Rupa Vedana? Can you come with a name of a sutra which talks about Rupa Vedana? Very common, you know. Sorry? No, you can, yeah. Yeah, Satipatthana, yeah, you were not there last time we studied that. So you are right, Satipatthana is there. But particularly, now Satipatthana talks about Rupa, Arupa, both material and immaterial types of sensations. But there is a particular sutra that comes with only material type of Vedanas. For example, if you take Girimananda Sutta, they talk about Utuparinamaja Vedana, Opakkamika Vedana, then what else? Accidents and Bahudukko Ayankayo. There are a lot of diseases, there are a lot of things that can happen to your body. These are the types of Vedana. These are all our bodily pains, material types of pain. But in Satipatthana Sutta, where does, if you say in Satipatthana Sutta, where does Rupa Vedana is clearly mentioned? Okay, if somebody is saying where can we find, okay, give me an example for Rupa Vedana, and if somebody says, okay, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, where exactly can you find Rupa Vedana in that? Another obvious, it can be found in Kayanupassana. Okay, because it's within the body. And Vedananupassana we are already studying. Within Kayanupassana, where exactly can Rupa Vedana be? In Anapanasati, we are studying Anapanasati. Within Anapanasati, we are now studying Vedananupassana. That is obvious. But if somebody can say 4 elements, meditation, Chatudhatu Vāttana, that we categorize as Rupa Vedana. 4 elements and 24 Upadaya Rupas. Now, this goes with Rupa Vedana. Now, Arupa Vedana, immaterial Vedanas, it's very important when we say this sensation, whatever the feeling that I have, how can you link that with the fire clinging aggregates? Now, we have to clearly understand Nama Rupa, no? How there are 3 ways a person can feel Vedana. One can feel the contact. What is the name for contact? Passa. Okay. Some might be feeling somebody contacting. Okay. Somebody will feel the Vedana, the happiness. For people, if you close your eyes, if somebody is touching you, somebody can clearly say that something is touching. A next person can say, oh, what a wonderful feeling. It doesn't matter, it's a flower touching, maybe a tail of a dog. They don't clearly understand. But for the third person, it's not, the contact is not prominent. The type of Vedana is not prominent. But he clearly observes this, the consciousness is more prominent. Do you understand? How can you feel Vedana? In three ways. For one person, it can be clearly the contact, Passa. For the other person, it can be the Vedana, the sensation. Or for a developed mind, it can be the awareness that he is going through. Clearly able to see the Vijnana, that they are going through some kind of Vedana. But none of these three things arise alone. Passa, contact, doesn't arise alone. Vedana doesn't arise alone. Vijnana doesn't arise alone. The contact will not arise alone. Sensation will not arise alone. And the consciousness will arise alone. So what are the other things associated with this individual three states? With Passa comes what? Vedana. With Vedana comes what? No, you said the other day Tanha is not there. No, you told no, Bhante, somebody told me this. And now I want to get that answer. Sanya. Very good. Now I come to that point. Sanya. And with Sanya comes what? With Sanya, when you get a Sanya, what do you usually do? Yeah, we do volitional things. Chetana, you think about it. Chetana comes. With Chetana, you have the consciousness, manasikara. So, whatever it is, sensation, contact or vijnana, all these five things will arise with these three things. We call this Passa, Panchamaka, Dhamma. With contact, not only these three things, but the whole package will come. Now, where does these five things are placed? Now, this is Nama Dhamma. Where does Chetana come from? Now, Abhidhamma people have to explain where Chetana comes from. Chitta Chaitasika comes from where? Chitta Kanda, you don't have to go even to Chaitasika. Chitta Kanda starts with these lessons. First lesson in any Abhidhamma class. Where does your thoughts, where does your mind come from? Where is it deeply rooted? Your heart base. What is the Pali term for that? Hadaya Vatu Rupa. Now, Hadaya Vatu Rupa, these five Passa Panchamaka Dhamma is rooted in the Hadaya Vatu Rupa. Now, what is Nama now? These five things, or let's say Passa or Vedana, Vijnana. Then they are, when you say they are rooted in the Hadaya Vatu Rupa, what is Hadaya Vatu Rupa? What is Hadaya Vatu Rupa? Is it Rupa or Arupa? If you say your thoughts are coming from the heart, what is the heart? What is the heart base? It's Rupa, no? What is Rupa? 4 elements and 24 supportive elements. 4 Mahabhutas and 24 Upadaya Rupas. So newcomers, you might find this bit difficult. Yeah, because this has been going on for a while. Constructive, syllabus-wise. So most of these people, they understand. But even like every day we find it, we struggle a little bit understanding these things. So, So now now do you know how Vedana is connected? Namarupa, can you identify? Yes? How Vedana belongs to 5 clinging aggregates, you understand, no? Because it's all this Vedana comes from your heart. When people say when there's too much, I'll get a heart attack. No, you break up, I will die of a heart attack. Because why only heart attack? You ever say brain attack, mind attack? Do you say kidney attack, liver attack? No, it's always the heart attack. So you need to, these basic things, So this, because it's deeply rooted in the heart. So the mind and matter, now the connection is there. At the end of the day, what is universal for these both two things? What is the characteristic of when you say Nama Rupa? This is 5 clinging aggregates. Okay? Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara. Sankhara is Chetana. That's why when you explain Sankhara, we take 52 Chetasikas. Sankhara, Vijnana. Now, with Vedana, did you identify the 5 clinging aggregates? Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Chetana. Sankhara, we'll say Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Vijnana. What is the 5th one? The heart. Heart is Rupa. Okay, now do you see the 5 clinging aggregates in the Vedana? Yes? Now what is the characteristic of 5 clinging aggregates here? It has 3 characteristics. Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. When you say, if Vedana has the 5 clinging aggregates, what does it ultimately mean? No, Buddha always gives these 5 clinging aggregates to understand, to show that there is no person. So when you think like this, when you do your meditation like this, and when you realize my Vedana is only 5 clinging aggregates, what is the understanding that you come into? There is no person. So you understand now, Rupa, Arupa, Kammatthana I have taught you. I have all this time, within these 4 classes, I have given enough support from knowledge-wise for you to understand this. All you have to do is go here and there and meet all the monks and come home and sit down. Okay? Forget everything and sit down, including me. I'm not saying you should not go to them. You can go to them. I also go to them. You also go to them. But very important, you come and try, keep all the notes, take 1 hour at least, go, what did he say? 3-4 times, contemplate. But still, if you don't understand, there's a weakness within you that either you are making too much effort, either you are making this effort in that way and you are taking this effort this way with your worldly life, so this is not going to happen.